Namaste Gurave Mahatmane Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupini Bhumi Sada Paradayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Tapoyogadamya Namaste Namaste Shruddhijnanadamya Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamastu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamastu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamastu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinnase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari Om Tat Sat.
So Swamiji, my question is that I am a good person, like common man on the street. I don't harm anybody. I have a job, I have a family, living a good life, trying to help people as much as it is in my power. And if my life is going good, I'm happy. What is the need of spirituality or the pursuit of spiritual knowledge or practices in my life?
There is no need at all as long as you don't feel the need. That is only when there is quest, there is enquiry to know either the absolute truth in the language of science, or to know who is God, whether God exists. If at all He exists, where does He? How can I know Him? If there is a way to know Him or interact with Him, what is the meaning of God realization? All these questions, until they become your real, bothering your intelligence about to know the truth behind that, there is no need at all. You can continue to be a good person. The need comes only when the intelligence raises doubts about everything. That said, I just, as you were asking, I remembering a few persons who had said the same thing, and they were extremely good they were associated with our way also, doing many of the things, but not having any particular query. So one day, one lady, I still remember, she had asked that, Swamiji, do I need to do anything other sadhana? Why do I need to do sadhana? Because I am happy, I am doing always good. So I said, no, you don't need. But the question is, if you remain like that, you may not need till death. But suppose when things are not all right, so far you have your family, your children, your husband, everything has been fine. But when things are not all right, then I would like to know what you say. So unfortunately she developed cancer, and thereafter all the ups and downs and all that. So naturally now wants to know and not able to keep the balance anymore. The balance which she was able to have, now she is not able to. Whenever she is falling from the balance, calls us up. And we try to console. We cannot console fully. So you will find in Bhagavad Gita, which chapter I don't know, Arto Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna Arto jijnasur artharthi yani cha bharatarshava. Can you tell me which is the 7th chapter? You don't have the book, no? No, I have the book. So the shloka is this. You take out your book. Chaturvidha bhajante mam Jana Supritano Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, there are 4 kinds of people who worship me. What kind of people? Sukrita. Those who are good, as you said that I am a good person. Those who are not given to any bad habits, do not harm others, do not hurt others. Everything is fine. There will be 4 kinds of people who worship me. The first one he is saying is Arto. Artaha. Artaha means who is in trouble, who is facing distress. So as long as people are alright, it is okay. But when they find distress, then they are not able to find out the answer. They think that I have always done good, I have been honest. Why me? That question comes up. So amongst the people you will find mostly people who are arthas, they take to some sort of worship. Either worshipping in shrine at home or participating in some yajna or so, or kirtana. Some sort of worship they do. Second is arto jijnasu. Jijnasu means those who are curious. That means they want to know whether there is God or not, but it is only a theoretical enquiry. Not that they are having a deep quest for that, but they would like to know what are things and all. So such jijnasu are also inquiring about me. Third is artharthi, which is again very common, that people want prosperity, they want the business to grow, they want their children to be settled, they want their children to be married, they want their business to grow. All these are artharthi. They have some material gain. For that they think that by worshipping God I will get it. And they worship. The fourth one is jnani cha bharatarshava. Fourth one is, he is saying that tesham jnani nityayuktaha ekभक Nirviseshananda. You check with that, I may say wrongly. So he is giving jnani the highest position. What is that? Tesham jnani nityayuktaha. He is always connected to me. एकभक Nirviseshananda. His speciality is his one-pointed devotion to me. Why? Because his devotion is, jnani means who knows the truth, that God is in me, that is what we refer to as I. Our own identity is the God. So we cannot have any experience in life without the base being I. You can think about your experiences, even in dream, or those who say that I had this experience in the past life, whatever they may say, but that experience must be with respect to that I is having the experience. So that I cannot be missing any time. All other things will be coming and going, but that I will be constant. So one who is finding God in that I is nityayuktaha. He is always connected to the God. Because we are connected to the I, we may not know the dimension of the I. We may not understand, even if we are told that the God is like in our Atma only is the God, we will not know the dimension. But a jnani means who has realized that this is what God is. So they are always connected to me. Ekabhakti, their devotion is one-pointed. Although we differentiate devotion, bhakti and jnana are different, it is not different. The jnani is the greatest devotee and real devotee is a jnani also. Ekabhaktir vishishyate. Priyo hi jnaninam atyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Check whether it is. That the jnani is most dear to me, is dearest for me, and I am also dearest to them. Then he goes further, another one or two shlokas are there. So the quest is the main thing which, when we change over from religious worship pursuit to spiritual worship, spiritual sadhana, when the quest becomes that I have been worshipping God for the last 40 years, 50 years, but have I come closer to God or God has come closer to me? Have I known God better than what I used to do when we started worshipping? These questions at one time will come to a person. And if at all there are people, say Vivekananda going to Maharshi Devendranath and all, have you seen God? So he directed him to Ramakrishna Dev. Like that, he will go and find out where can I get my real answer. As Buddha moved from ashram to ashram, that was a very low period of the Eastern India at that time. Actually, the Eastern India is extremely cultured, it was. Later on also it became. There were 6 international universities, not only Nalanda, we know about Nalanda. But actually there were another 4 or 5 international universities like Vikramashila and all were there in that part. It was height of cultured society, which were all demolished by, what is his name? Khilji. Bhakti or Khilji, no? Or Alauddin Khilji. So in such a place, he moved from ashram to ashram, nowhere finding the answer to his quest. Then finally he sat under the Bodhi tree, that Vatavriksha, and got his enlightenment through meditation, dhyana. So, why he was moving from place to place? Because as long as he was a Rajaputra, he was a prince, kept in the palace with lot of luxury and all that, he was fine. But he went out for a pilgrimage and had a ready exposure to the suffering people have. That created the quest. Exactly same happened to Rama also. Rama was very happily going in at the age of 18. Before 18 he went for a pilgrimage. And in the pilgrimage he was exposed to all kinds of suffering which he could not explain. If you read Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana, the Vairagya Prakarana, you will find that what he is describing. The world is much better than that. We call Ramarajya. But Rama's young days exposure, how bad the people were he is describing there. That he finishes that not a single good person I am finding in the world like that. So he got completely destabilized by actually being exposed to the world. And then, but in Rama's time it was different. Because Vasishtha, Vishwamitra and all other saints, they were all readily available to them. So that 18 days of discourses which Vasishtha enlightened Rama, sitting in the palace, in the Ayodhya palace, that was possible. In Buddha's case, that was not possible. So spirituality starts, you can say, where the religiousness ends. That is, all along I have been doing religious, some ritual, some worship, something. When the quest starts and we start looking for the answer, then we understand that first I have to know who am I who is looking at the world. And generally in such case he will go to a person who knows, who has realized, and he will direct him what should be the steps and all. So then comes the spiritual quest. The difference is that in religion, although we are saying repeatedly the God is omnipresent, omniscient and omnipotent. So God is all pervading, we are saying. But then why do we go to the temple? Or in the house also, why do we go to the shrine? That means our God is restricted to that. There is a reason. I am not saying that we should not go to. At least the time we go to the temple or go to the shrine, we are winding up our mind from the thousands of things the mind had been involved in throughout the day. So this is a time when we are focusing, taking away the mind from its materialistic engagement. So that way it is necessary. But in what we are thinking in terms of why am I doing is our God is existing only in the idol. Even those who are going to Tirupati or Guru Vairappan to see, the moment you are away from the Murti, the God is not there. So these are all the misconceptions we are carrying generally. So, although the religion also says it is omnipresent, we are not believing it because we don't have the experience of it. Similarly, if God is omniscient, He knows everything, then why do we have to pray to God? Before you pray, God knows what you need. But we are not satisfied with what God gives us. Suppose God has fulfilled all our desires, we would have been in trouble. Is it not? It's favoring us, He doesn't fulfill all our desires. He fulfills only the rightful desires with which we will be satisfied. So, actually, if He is omniscient, means before I express anything, He knows what I want. So, the most wise and intelligent way will be to accept whatever God has given us. Because He knows what I want. We don't have to pray. He knows my mind also. The third one is omnipotent. He does everything. God is the doer of everything. Whatever is done through Prakriti or done through the human beings or animals, everything is God's work. So then, whatever is done to me, why are we not able to accept it as God has given me, I should accept? Suppose there is a calamity. It has been given by God, but we are not ready to accept it. We want differently. So, religion also says all these things, which are applicable to the eye of spirituality. But we don't pay much regard to that. When the spiritual quest comes, and we try to understand, then the whole direction of our focus of our vision undergoes a change. Normally, whatever you may say, even Vedantins also, when there is a trouble at home, they will think that some God sitting somewhere in the yonder sky is going to help him. All Vedanta goes there. They will think of a God sitting somewhere is going to help me. So, although we are saying, but we are not having it fully there. But when we start the spiritual sadhana, the external God sitting somewhere, it's completely forgotten. Our focus from external world, it becomes our own within. Who am I? Looking at the world. Where from that I is coming? And that becomes the first step of spiritual sadhana. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, Swamiji, you actually answered much more than I had asked.
And I speak something.
No. The reason I say is that I had a second question and you
that almost, also got answered.
Almost there. Very small doubt in that area because you rightly differentiated between religion and spirituality. So that made a lot of sense. The only sticky point that I have in general is that our culture has very deep philosophy and it also has a lot of rituals, the practices. And I'm not able to understand the connection between those two.
Connection between those two or with them, the modern way?
No, the deep philosophy is on one side.
And the rituals.
And the rituals. And my problem is that both of them, I cannot relate to both of them. The philosophies look like they are very far away. My normal life doesn't seem to be connected.
Shall I explain?
And then the other part is the rituals also feel the same way. I'm doing all this, offering ghee and offering this thing, but I don't feel any connection to my life. So that was.
See, in our country, when you are talking about our culture and all, our country, the whole gamut of knowledge is Vedas. Veda word means knowledge. Everything is in the Vedas. And Vedas have got so many divisions in it. Even the archery is called Dhanurveda. Then there are so many Vedangas. They are all either part of Veda or which will help us in that six Vedangas will help us in understanding the Vedas, what they have written. Now the major division in Veda is one is called the Karma Kanda, another is called the Jnana Kanda. This Karma Kanda is all about the achara, rituals, etc. Rituals, all are to do with the rituals. Whereas Jnana Kanda comes at the end of all the four Vedas. That means they have spoken about the rituals, then they will be from ordinary, some puja, etc. They will go over to the yaga, yajna, etc. Then finally to some other practices in vanaprastha, and finally they will go to the knowledge. So the Vedas themselves say that the highest level of the knowledge is in the Jnana Kanda towards the end, which is called the Upanishads. Jnana Kanda is nothing but the Upanishads. So the Upanishads are speaking to us about the ultimate knowledge. So as from the Yaga Jajna will promote to the knowledge, Jnana Kanda. Now in about both there are a lot of misconceptions because we don't understand why these rituals were made. Neither we understand the real position or the purpose of the Jnana, the Upanishads. See, the rituals which consists of the religious part of all religious vrata, then homa, yaga, yajna, various methods. It is all to bridle the human society, we should understand. That means to put people on an auspicious track. Because each person is having some good qualities and bad qualities. Everybody is having some feeling of envy, competition, jealousy and whatnot. So when such people gather as a society, all these tendencies will finally lead to destruction of the society, as it is happening all over the world. But you see, the Indian society has lived for unknown period of prehistoric. So we don't know how many thousands of years or millions of years. Nobody can say because it is prehistoric. We cannot say. So it has lived only because of the spiritual undercurrent. That the spiritual purpose always have been that any spiritual person, be he a sannyasin or not, his only work is called loka sangraha. Our work, even I have come here, it is for loka sangraha. Loka sangraha does not mean that you collect people in your own group. No. Loka sangraha, Shankaracharya has clearly written that lokanam unmarga pravritti nivrittartham karma. Lokanam, of the people, unmarga pravritti. Unmarga means ut marga. That means there is an auspicious path of life. So our natural tendency will be to go away from the auspicious path because of our greed, competition, jealousy, etc. We always do wrong things. We want something which I am not supposed to have. So unmarga pravritti means given, just like it has given, nature has given to us. We have that pravritti. If you look into our life, everyday life, you will find the whole life. If you are a good person, I am assuming all of you are good, otherwise you would not have come here also. So if you are a good person, you will find the whole life has been a struggle to win over the lower tendencies and institute the good tendencies. Whenever we are hurting people or doing something wrong, there is another force which is pulling us up from there. No, this is not right. I should not do it. I should not do it. So, unmarga pravritti means people are doing wrong things. Nivrittartham karma, that means to check that unmarga pravritti, that going astray. The people have the tendency to get degenerated. The society also has the tendency to get degenerated. Restricting that by making them do good things and putting them on the auspicious track. So in a sentence you can say Loka Sangraha means bringing back the people from the inauspicious work to the auspicious track. That is called Loka Sangraha. So because of that, why did I say this? I wanted to say something. No, not that. This particular thing I said because of some.
Say why we need rituals. What is the purpose?
The purpose of the rituals is to bridle the society, is to keep the society on auspicious track. That is the main purpose. Now, to do that, they have taken the help of various concepts, imaginations and all that. They are not important. I will talk about it later on, otherwise we will get deviated. Whereas the Jnana Kanda, we think it is philosophy. And in all the books and constitution also, Upanishads are considered as philosophy. They are not philosophy. Not at all. Our Rishis, as the scientists had experimented with the external world and devised some laws and other things by inquiring into the whatever is happening in the world, our Rishis found that if we are looking for the ultimate truth, the absolute truth or the ultimate truth beyond God, then, because God also, when we say why do we need God, God has created the universe. If God has created the universe, who has created God? That we will not be able to answer. So we say He is Swayambhu. That means nobody has created, He has become like that. These are only to pacify our quest. But when we are inquiring into, after inquiring into the world, they found that the answer does not lie in inquiring into the worldly things. We may go on inquiring, it will never answer our quest for absolute truth. So they started looking within who am I who is looking at the world? First let us know that. In their experiment of looking at who am I, they discovered that I. And in the path of discovery, they discovered various other things also. The Upanishadic statements are all statements of those experimental and experiential discoveries. Mark these words, it's very important, it's not written in the books. They are all statements coming out of the Rishis as they are doing the experiment. So Upanishads are not written by anything. They are statement of truth. Who has given is not the point there. If you do the experiment now, you will also have the same experience and you will confirm that yes, what the Upanishads have written is correct. So they have not given any name. In some cases you will find the such and such Rishi did this and he came out with this. Like that, some very few statements are there to give you as the history or so. Otherwise, Upanishadic statements are not assigned to any author or so, because they are not composed. They are just the expression of truth coming out of the tongue of the seer, who is directly perceiving or experiencing the truth. This is very important to know. So they are not philosophies. They are the result of the experiment. Suppose in physics also, if today the experimental results come out to be different, we have to change the laws. Suppose Newton's laws we are believing to be correct. That why the apple is falling? Because of gravity and all. But very soon they discovered that it is not so. The laws are violated when we go to the high velocity region, when we go to the two small particles, then Newton's laws are no more valid. So we had to go for Einstein's laws, Einstein's special relativity, then quantum electrodynamics. All the laws were new. We had to go for it because the experimental results are showing a different thing. So like that, experiments are the basis of our knowledge. Suppose tomorrow we find that the apples are going up. Instead of falling down, they are going up. We will change the Newton's laws. It can happen. It so happened that the apples are falling down. So laws are actually not speaking about anything that gravity is the truth. What he did, later on the scientist understood, he is actually unified all the things happening. Suppose you leave the stone, it falls like this. If you throw the stone, it takes a particular trajectory. If the earth is going around the sun, it takes a particular trajectory. If the moon is going around the earth, it is taking another trajectory depending on the mass and this and that. So all the happenings in the universe, they are following certain harmony. There is a harmony in the universe. And that harmony Newton wanted to express. That is how the Newton's laws have come. And later on Einstein's laws or boson, etc. Everything, all the theory of physics, they are actually a description of the harmony. They are not as we think that they are absolute truth. No. If you find that it is violated, we have to change the laws. Suppose, I am deviating a little. Suppose you are standing on the bank of a water body. In a hot summer day, if you find that the water releases the heat and becomes solidified as ice, and the atmosphere becomes hotter and hotter, is there any violation of the conservation of energy? The energy which was there in the water is now given to the atmosphere. So there is no new energy created or any energy lost. So the first law of thermodynamics is not violated. But the fact is that it never happens. We find that the water releasing the heat becoming ice and the atmosphere becoming hotter, it never happens. That is, heat is always going from the hotter to the colder. That's a natural harmony. And to say that we have conceived the law of second law of thermodynamics, which is violated in some cases also. In superconductivity and all, certain things are violated. So it is not that we are only harmonizing all the incidents happening and giving them theoretically. That is what was done by Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutra is a very rational representation of the spiritual truth, where they have used logic and all in that. But actually the real treasure is the Upanishads, where the truth was simply exposed, and if you do the experiments, you will also find them to be true. Now Brahma Sutra wanted the whole thing to be theoretically given a solid basis. That is why they have rationally tried to explain it. This is what our philosophy is. But the Upanishads are not philosophy. They are only expression of the results of the experiment performed by our Rishis. And if you do the experiment looking into your eye, you will find the same results you will get. This is the difference between rituals. Rituals are given because normally people will be wayward. They will not be given to any discipline. See, because of the society and the rules created by the government, you are taking to the right here. We take to the left, here you are taking to the right. Now, if you are taking somebody left, somebody right, then it would have been accidents all over. So we have also that when there is a Tulasi Mancha in a house, you keep the Tulasi Mancha on the right and go to the left and get in also. But we call it Pradakshina, that means keeping the Tulasi or any auspicious thing on the right. Now there is a reason that we do all the good things with the right hand. So any auspicious thing, whether it is a temple or a Tulasi Mancha or even Mahatma also, you try to keep him on the right and move. When we are going circumambulating, we do it in that manner. Now basically it is disciplining your life. Suppose when you are taking food, Before the food is served, some people, you will jump over it, and if you like it, you will start gulping it. Our rituals will prevent it. The food should not be taken like that. Food only whatever is suitable for your body, mind, personality, whatever will cultivate the sattvika qualities in you. You should think well and take only that much which is suitable. Those who are given to sattva guna also, lot of sattvic food is given. And they will overeat and they will have the burp and all. Is it sattva guna? Clearly saying rasya, snigdha, sthira, hridya. Sthira. Sthira means stability. So it is not enough if the food is sattvic. Your taking the food has not been sattvic. That after taking the food you don't feel stable. Then it is not a sattvika act done. So everywhere we need so before taking, when it is served, you take water and do the parishechanam, or in our ashram it is brahmarpanam, brahmahavi, we do it. Now when you are doing the brahmarpanam, brahmahavi, what are you doing? You are actually instituting in your mind a sameness everywhere. That the person who is doing the yajna is Brahman, the act of yajna is Brahman, whatever you are eating is Brahman, everything is Brahman. By that what will happen? The special greed for a certain food or a hatred for the children, it is very much to be learned. If you don't like that, then immediately don't twist your face and say that mother has spoiled my day today. If it is good and nutritious, you feel it and take accordingly. It may be bitter, it may be so. The mother understands what is needed for you and accordingly she has given. So it is actually before taking the food, it is disciplining our mind, you do it and then start taking food properly. But in most of the cases you will find people have forgotten all these things. In North India we find that with both the hands they immediately start taking food. That is, if it is papadam he likes, so immediately he will take the papadam, or in the roti also they will use both the hands. These are not approved by, I am not saying there is anything wrong, they are doing it. But our traditional cultural system, they disapproves of this. That you should do with a certain discipline. Everything you do it with a certain discipline. Going to the bed, getting up from the bed. Everywhere it is discipline. Why? Because by discipline, we will be able to win over our that lower tendencies and replace them by higher tendencies. We call them austerity generally. Austerity means tapasya. What is a tapasya? It is restricting your lower tendencies from doing so. Suppose you are very hungry also. So we become slave to the food, that we cannot tolerate hunger at all. Even at a childhood also, even in childhood also. So we should learn not to be the slave to the food. So fasting is designed. That why fasting? Because initially maybe lunch he will miss and he may feel bad, but by the time it is evening he will feel that I am perfectly alright. Next day he will feel that absolutely alright. So it is telling you experientially, not theoretically, that you can win over your slavery to food. It is comfort, suppose. We are slave to our comfort. Our Shastras are saying that you share with others. Let other people come and some days you will sleep on the floor. How does it matter? But our children will not be able to. They are given to so much of cozy everything that they are not given to that. It is wrong. See, if our life grows very comfortably, our personality will not grow. If you bring up your children with all comfort and always protected, don't go there, this dog may bite, that rabbit may bite. Allow him to play with the dog, ask the person whose dog it is, can I pat? You go and pat the dog and you will find so much of joy. But we restrict, what is it? The fear of getting bitten by the dog. So everywhere it is our fear, our desires, we are restricting the next generation also like that. So that discipline, all the austerities, that tapasya, another tapasya is maunam. Why? Because we are all given to talk nonsense. Not to talk one day is very difficult. I have seen some of the older generation, the auntie, they will have the vow of maunam, but they will write down everything and even scolding the worker also on the note. Very angry, inside is angry. Antanam bandhi santaptam. That bandhi, that fire inside, she is not able to control. She is writing down on the. But maunam really means your mind also. Then 17th chapter Bhagavad Gita, the maunam comes as a mental tapasya, not as an bacha tapasya. You see, 17th chapter, maunam is given as a manasika tapas. Why? What is that? Because that is the real tapas, not to allow the thoughts to disturb you. Throughout the day, thousands of things which are absolutely irrelevant, they are haunting you. So, by the austerity, you will restrict them and keep the mind peaceful. You will learn it through tapasya. So, these are actually part of the rituals also. All the rituals are designed to make us disciplined and know our own power. Nothing else is there. Know that I am not slave to the world. I am not slave to the objective situation. I am not slave to the objects or luxury or anything. These are all part of the rituals. How much of discipline they have to follow to participate in a yajna. Nowadays yajna is not there, but I am only telling you that they are not trash. The people who conduct the yajna, the 18th, the priests and all, even if something happens in a family, they will not be able to pursue further. And they have to pursue some discipline over 41 days, or some rules are there. Everywhere some rules will be there. That means it is to discipline people. There everywhere it is there. Why a Raja should perform Ashwamedha Yajna? As such, Yajna has got lot of discipline the Raja has to perform. But you know, it is written in Mahabharata and Ramayana also, that when the king's coffer gets full, the minister will come and tell the Maharaj that, Maharaj, our coffer, treasury has become full. Please do a yajna. Maybe he will suggest Ashwamedha yajna or whatever is the depending on the dimension of the king. By that what will happen? Ashwamedha yajna is a yajna which takes 1 year to prepare and all. During that period, all the artisans, poets and everybody will be invited to show their performances, drama, whatnot. So the whole place they will be performing and they will be paid for that. And at the end of the yajna, when the yajna is over, it must end with a huge dana. Dana means giving off all those who are not having any income. Suppose in our country knowledge was never sold. So the teachers have to be supported by the king or the wealthy people. Similarly, the priests and other people, those who are looking after the rituals and all, they had to be supported by the king and other people. So they have to be given and also beggars, if at all they were there, they have to be gifted liberally through dana. So in the dana Raghuvamsha, they are saying that the king has given so much that a sannyasin has come. Maybe the king's Kulaguru has come. He is inviting him with mritpatra, water in a mud pot, because the whole palace has become free of gold. All the gold has been given away. So much liberal they were. Now to cultivate the liberal sentiment, the king should be liberal. Anybody who having enough wealth, after using for their own family and their own business, they should distribute it for the society. These are all codes. It is all to give us peace, because money, initially it is a need, but we become slave to the money, and money actually hinders our peace. It spoils our peace. That somebody is becoming more richer than me. I am not in the 10, he has gone into the 10th. So everywhere we should look at it that it may not be now valid. It is not there anymore, but the fact is that it was to incorporate it, it was to make the whole society disciplined. And by discipline what happens? By discipline we know that we have much more power than the worldly situation. We are not slave to the world. We can win over our slave tendencies. Is it not a great gain? Now, if you don't pursue those rituals, at least you can follow it in your life. Wherever the situation comes, we should not become slave to the situation. The mind will not easily. We have the kripanata, we have the miserliness in our mind because of our slavery to wealth. So whenever the situation comes, we should be liberally share our wealth with others and win over such tendencies to possess. So we can easily get over our possessiveness by practicing in whatever manner we can practice. We need not do rituals, but in the present society also we can share, we can have all those qualities. So you may not have the rituals now, but whatever the rituals were cultivating in people, in the society, in the individuals, we can have even now in our own manner. This is extremely important to understand. We may say that rituals have become absolutely trash now, or it's of no use. Need not be. It is not practicable now. But in our life, whatever we are doing, can we not inculcate those values which the rituals were incorporating in people, for which it was designed? To make us liberal, to make us sharing, to make us all embracing, to love the entire society, do something for the society. All these things should be incorporated. Is it not something great? Now, when you take to the knowledge part of it, then the whole sadhana changes. But all these things will go on. You read Bhagavad Gita properly, you will find that jajjadana tapas should not be left. Can you find out the shloka? No, the jajjadana tapas should not be left by anybody. It should be continued by the jnana pursuit, by the Galena sadhakas also. Yajna tapak karma natayajyam. Where it is you find out? $18.5. The first line?
Yajnadana tabak karma natyachyam karyameva tad yajnodanam tabaschaiva pavanani manishina.
See, it is clearly stated. We should read Bhagavad Gita fully, applying our full intelligence, full enquiry, full potential. Then it will speak to us. It will give all the values it is supposed to give. See, these are very interesting. In Karma Kanda of Vedas, yajna means you do something, fire sacrifice or so, with a certain aim. They say that if you do putra kametri yajna, then you will have son. What Dasharatha did. So any yajna in the ritualistic section, in the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, it always speaks about a phala, a result of that. So only those who desire that result will do the yajna. Is it not? If you don't want son, why should you do putra kamishti yajna? Nobody will do. If you want to become an emperor, you will do Ashwamedha yajna. Otherwise you will not do. It's only for the kings. So, in the entire ritualistic section, the ritual, the yajna means you are doing with a desire, it is a desire motivated activity. If you want the result promised by the yajna, you do that yajna. Whereas in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has completely, or Vedavyasa has completely reversed the whole situation. He says anything you do without desire becomes yajna. So you don't have to do the fire sacrifice or anything at all. Even cooking becomes a yajna if you do it without desire. Because the whole nature, we should understand why he is saying, in the whole nature there is no desire. The earth is going around the sun, the moon is going around the earth, the plants are growing, the flowers are blossoming. No desire is there. Only the human beings will have to have a desire to do something. Without desire we cannot do anything. So when we do things without desire, when it is not desire motivated activity, it becomes a contribution to the universal yajna of the universal Lord. That we are a product of nature. Our body, mind, personality is a product of nature. As the whole nature is blossoming naturally, our body, mind, personality is also capable of doing many things without any desire. So when we do it as a contribution to the universal yajna, then it becomes a yajna. See how he turned the whole thing. So yajna makes us get rid of the desires. From the desire motivated activity, we become free contributors to the universal yajna. So yajna, dana, tapas will never be left. Because dana makes us, expands our mind. As we are spending for ourselves, we spend for the whole world to the extent possible. By that we are embracing the whole society to the extent possible. So it is actually expanding our mind, making it like the Atma, like as expanded as possible. And tapas makes us win over our lower tendencies. So can it be left by anybody? These three we should pursue always throughout. Does it answer all your questions?
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Hold it properly.
Oh, like this. On the spirituality, we were talking about following some rituals.
Not spirituality, in religion.
In religion, okay. Following some rituals. It's a simply like the other side of a question. So for each festival, we offer different food to God. We
offer different food to God. Because you don't worry about what God likes. You offer whatever you like. It's very simple.
So I didn't know, because they say, for example, if it is Ganesh Chaturthi, you make certain things. For a different occasion, you make certain things. Is that given?
And you will find this varies from state to state. The coconut laddu you will find in everything, the Bengalis offer coconut laddu.
Okay.
Whereas in north you will find it is different. In south you will find it different. So it is only we make God ours, and whatever we like to take, because the prasada finally I have to take, na?
Right.
God will not take.
Right.
So whatever we like, we make the prasada with that.
Okay. That's what I want to know, whether it is that was the reason, or is there a
You
reason?
could have found out yourself by looking at the world. You did not have to ask me for that. God has never told what prasada you are making regularly.
Krishna says just offer water.
Cream.
Yeah, so.
Oh, so you have simplified the whole thing. Even some milk and payasam, Krishna was very fond of kheer. So you could have offered that. Only with water you are satisfying Krishna.
No, because that's what's said in Bhagavad Gita, right? Even if
that
you
is the easiest part. Even if you don't have anything else, you offer that. So you have caught on to the last one.
Yeah. Whatever is feasible.
Feasible now, whatever is convenient. Feasible, can you not offer very good kheer, that condensed milk and all? Krishna used to like, everywhere Krishna's story says she was stealing kheer. So at least Krishna will come to take kheer, not you. You may not see Krishna, but the kheer will be taken by Krishna.
Okay. Thank you.
But there also you have not, I don't know what you do. Pushpam, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Are you doing it with bhakti or you are just doing it? Tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami. Krishna takes only the bhakti aspect from that. The phalam toyam he does not take. Patram pushpam phalam toyam he doesn't take. He takes only the bhakti part of it. So if you can reinforce it with lot of bhakti, then it is fine. Otherwise change over to kheer.
So, does Sanskrit and slokas are required for the spiritual path? Like, does it help you?
No, the first part is required and the second part is does it help you? Certainly it helps, but it is not essential that you have to know. But the fact is that because all the deepest expressions are in Sanskrit, the words mean very great. So if you have some knowledge of Sanskrit, it will deepen your own concepts. So that way a little idea of Sanskrit will always be good. Even the foreigners who come also, when they learn a little Sanskrit, they enjoy it very much. And when they understand the meaning, suppose we are always using the word samsara, that the worldliness, we use samsara. If you know Sanskrit, then you will know that this word has come from samyak sarati iti samsara. Samyak sarati iti samsara. Sarati means drifting. Samyak sarati means only drifting. Always drifting. That means in this world, everything is drifting. But we want to hold on to our partner, we want to hold on to our children, we want to hold on to our building, our property, our fixed deposit, everything we are holding on. But if you understand that samsara means it is drifting. So even if you have everything, you will not cling to anything. Samsara means you allow it to drift. So knowing Sanskrit will always help to deepen your concepts. Like that Vishnu, we are all thinking Vishnu with the 4 hands and 2 legs and the moon-like face and all. But the Vishnu word means atati vyapnoti iti Vishnu. That means which is all pervading everywhere. You cannot miss Vishnu anywhere at all. That is the real Vishnu. To help our constricted mind, they have given a picture so that at least you hold on to that. But the real, when you take to spirituality, you understand that the I is the Vishnu. The real Vishnu is our real identity, which is all pervading, which is not limited by the body, mind, personality. The whole world is appearing on that consciousness, on that I. That is the real Vishnu. So naturally, if you understand the word meaning, it will help to have the better, deeper concept. Where does Vishnu stay? Vaikuntha. We will think that Vaikuntha is a place in the Swarga and I will go there after the body falls. I am going to Vaikuntha by the chariot of coming from the Swarga and all. Vaikuntha has come simply from Kuntha. Kuntha means constricted. That you must be having in your language also. In Tamil also it's not there. Kuntha means where it is constricted. Kuntha means which is not constricted. So Vaikuntha means where there is no constriction. When our mind becomes infinite, there is no constriction anymore. That is the liberation. That is the Vaikuntha. So Vaikuntha is not another Swarga. It is right within us when we get rid of all constrictions, all limitations, all preference, prejudice, raga, dvesha. When we are freed of that, then we are in Vaikuntha. The mind becomes all perfect. So should we not learn Sanskrit then?
Asking, like, is it a must that we should?
It is not must. Certainly, it is not must.
I mean, it is so nice to hear and all, but reading it is very hard, like understanding and.
No, you take the help of the translation. I don't know Sanskrit.
Okay.
I have studied Sanskrit only up to class 12. That too as the 10th subject that nobody will study only to have more marks. But naturally, I go deeply into the words, we have a book called Shabda Kalpadruma. Shabda Kalpadruma means Kalpavriksha. That means whatever you want, wish fulfilling trees. Kalpadruma means Kalpavriksha. Shabda Kalpadruma means the words which are wish fulfilling. That is anything you can get from the words. So it's 5 volumes like this. If you go for the meaning of the word, they will give so many things. From there, you can collect which you want, that which comes closer to your experience or to your discovery. So, Sanskrit has got immense potential, which the other languages will not. Suppose shraddha. We don't understand. In English, you cannot translate shraddha properly. We try to come closest. Respect and all is not the closest. We have to understand shraddha from the Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga and all. That is what we are valuing in life. What are we giving supreme value in life? We say God is supreme, but are you giving supreme value to God? Minimum value you are giving. When nothing is there to do, then only you will think of God. Is it not? When there is a marriage or anything to do, you completely forget God. So that is more important than God. So, shraddha means what? We are giving maximum value. So we have something called sadhana chatushtaya, which makes us fit to understand the Upanishadic Vidya. There, it is, you may know it, I am just repeating, Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shadga Sampatti, Mumuksha. These are the fourfold virtues, you can say, or fourfold sadhanas, pursuits, which makes a man fit to realize his own self or discover his own Atma. Now, of that, the third one, Viveka, Vairagya, then Shamadamadi, Shadga Sampatti, means sixfold treasure. The third one is sixfold treasure. In spirituality, no treasure is outer treasure, worldly treasure. It is all to do with the inside. Everything in spirituality is to do with the inside. Bhagavad Gita speaks about the padatyaga. It's widely misconceived and misunderstood that the result of the work, we don't have any right. It is not so. Bhagavad Gita doesn't speak anything about the outer result. Outer result will follow causality. Whatever you are doing, you cannot renounce it. You cannot do anything. Whatever we are doing, it is following a causal chain. At the end of the work, we cannot say that the result I don't want. Bhagavad Gita is only talking about the internal result. That whatever we do, we think that I will become happy by the result. So the last result is I will become happy. That one Bhagavad Gita says you should keep away, renounce. So here, everything is internal. So the sixfold treasure is Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. The fifth one comes as Shraddha. Shraddha means when you are Shastreshu Guruvakyeshu Bhaktihi Shraddha Nigadyate. When you give the supreme value to what the Guru says and what the Shastras declare, then it is called Shraddha. That means all other things are secondary. In your life, the Shastras are talking about the self, about the ultimate truth. Guru is also giving that direction. So are we giving supreme value to that pursuit or not? That becomes the real Shraddha. Otherwise, Shraddha, suppose I have Shraddha for money, then money will be my whole life. Shraddha mayoyam purusha yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. Bhagavad Gita says that we are actually, bodily we may look different, we may look various, but truly we are that, we are an embodiment of our Shraddha. A person who is giving supreme value to money, suppose, his Shraddha is for money. So is not his mind is full of thoughts of money. Somebody is giving supreme value to looking after the parents. So is not his thoughts and inside is full of that. Everything, whatever we are giving supreme value in life, our mind will think about it. we will be completely devoted to that. So actually we are an embodiment of shraddha, is Bhagavad Gita saying. That is our real personality, not the outer personality. So I am saying this understanding of shraddha it's very difficult to have it in English, you need the explanation and all. In Sanskrit also you may not have that, but it is always helpful. Moreover, in pronouncing Sanskrit properly, it's a great discipline. And if you pronounce properly, then you may not know the meaning, but the real bhava will dawn in your mind.
Namaste Swamiji. What is the difference between shraddha and vishwasa?
Vishwasa we generally used as faith or belief. Truly speaking, it means belief. Shraddha and belief is not same at all, because belief, suppose somebody says, I believe in God. But does it mean that he gives God the supreme position? He doesn't. He has some sort of a superficial faith. So that is also vishwasa. As far as it is for others, but vishwasa is used on faith on ourselves also. So it has different meaning. Shraddha means what value we are giving to it. Suppose a person says, I don't believe in God. Somebody says, I don't believe in God. Actually, is it that he doesn't believe in God or he believes in no God? A person who says, I believe in God, and a person says, I don't believe in God. Actually, the first person has belief in God, and the second person has belief in no God. In spirituality, we have to go beyond belief. Belief will not work. In spirituality, you are doing the experiment. If you have any prior a priori faith, then you will not be able to discover the truth. In scientific experiment also, you have to make your mind absolutely clean and free to discover what is the truth. Suppose you are worried, it happens quite often. You are worried about your PhD. You will find you are getting wrong result to support your PhD. Automatically the mind will work for that because of the preconceived notions. So to discover our truth, discover the truth of Atma, we have to be absolutely free of all beliefs. It doesn't depend on somebody is Christian or Muslim or Hindu. As the Christian and Muslim will have to go beyond their faith, the Hindu also will have to go beyond their own faith, whatever faith they have. They have to transcend, because it is a transcendental truth which is free of all coloring. To the extent that it says, Yan neti neti vachanairi nigama avochuhu, that there is no expression for this truth, because anything that we can express means it is a concept of the mind, is it not? Suppose you say God is Satchidananda, we say, but it is not really so. Satchidananda is a concept. So it is a concept of the mind. God cannot be attained by mind or vak or anything. Yada vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha tat Taittiriya Upanishad. The mind cannot express because it is beyond the duality. Our mind is all within the ken of duality. The truth is beyond, transcending duality. So, he says, Yan neti neti vachanairi nigama avochu. Nigama means the Vedas. Vedas are Upanishads. They are speaking about this truth in terms of na iti na iti. Neti neti means na iti na iti. That means whatever description you give to the supreme truth, na iti. When everything is denounced, then what is left? Your mind is left. Your consciousness is left. That is it. So, wherever the concepts are being formed, the concepts are only objective for that. It's a mental concept which you are revealing, you are seeing, you are knowing. When all concepts are completely removed, whatever remains is the truth. So belief is far away from spiritual discovery.
Yeah, but in Sri Tulsidas in Ramayana says shraddha vishwasa is like Parvati Shankaro Vande. They are like Parvati and Shankar.
Because Tulasi Ramayana is a bhakti grantha, so you start with the belief in Rama. So when you start with the belief in Rama and you develop shraddha for whatever qualities Rama had represented, that is the shraddha part of it. So it is like the marriage of Parvati and Shankara. So two together makes the deal. So it depends on where it is described and how it is. There is nothing wrong. You can say that also. In some other way in Sanskrit, Vagatthau Vasampriktau, they are saying Parvati Shankara. What is that? Then the next line. Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. They are the Shabda and its meaning. They have said like Parvati Parameshwara. One cannot go without the other. Like that, suppose you don't have faith in Rama, then will you read Tulasi Ramayana at all? The faith makes you read Tulasi Ramayana. As you read, you slowly transcend the belief and the belief becomes shraddha. Without praying to Parvati, you cannot reach Parameshwara. The Shiva is lying under the feet of Kali, is it not? He doesn't do anything at all. So you have to please Kali to allow you to interact with Shiva. He has to expose Shiva because the knowledge is also part of Prakriti. It is part of the female. It's part of Prakriti. So now what is happening? Our mind, the ajnana, ignorance is sitting in the intelligence, is it not? Ignorance is sitting there. Ajnana. We have to bring in jnana to remove the ajnana. That jnana and ajnana both are within the ken of Parvati, duality, Prakriti. But when jnana removes ajnana, then the truth becomes visible. We don't create the truth. Atma is always nitya muktaha. It is always free. It is always there in the same manner. I always give the example. Suppose we are not seeing the sun. Is not sun there? Sun is still there. But the cloud is not allowing us to see. You bring the wind of jnana and remove the cloud of ajnana, then the sun becomes visible. We have not created the sun. We have only removed the ajnana by jnana, that's all. So the jnana is also a tool. This I did not complete, I forgot in the way, Anand. This I wanted to say. As the rituals I explained, the jnana part I did not say. There also is lot of misconception. Jnana is not just knowing from the Upanishad what is Atma, what is Brahman and all. No, not at all. Jnana is to be used as a tool to purify our mind and buddhi. It's a tool. Once the ajnana of the mind and intelligence is removed by the jnana, then it is done. Whatever remains as our own identity is the truth. But we have a misconception that I have read the Upanishads and I have the jnana. That is not the jnana. That is only theoretical jnana. That jnana has to be operated on our mind and intelligence to remove the ajnana from there, so that the truth becomes shining with its own brilliance. So both the Karma Kanda part and now it is complete. I got deviated from there.
Hello. Hi Swamiji. Namaste.
Bhakti is a tool. Everything is a tool. Bhakti is a tool. You need God Rama or Krishna or Parvati or Parameshwara only to generate bhakti in your mind. When you have the surrender to your deity, to your Godhead, this surrender is generated by worshipping the Lord. Once the surrender is generated, it doesn't matter whether that God exists or not. This is necessary to counter the other people who say you are all pluralistic and all. We don't mind whether you worship that 33 crores of deities we had, because at that time India had the population of 33 crores. That is, they are expressing that each mind the God is different. If 2 million people worship Shiva, know for sure that it is not the same Shiva. Each person has a concept of Shiva, and that is what he is worshipping. So it is shifting the whole thing to Shiva, to the mind of the worshipper. So when the real surrender is generated in our mind, it is the surrender attitude of our mind that is important, not to whom you are surrendering. It might be Shiva, it might be Buddha, it might be Christ, it might be anything in the world. It is to generate surrender, we are taking the help of a deity. Similarly, we are taking the help of jnana to remove our bheda buddhi, that our differential notion, this is this, that is not this, this is etc., that is causing the not allowing the jnana to dawn in our mind. That our mind is bogged down by the plurality of the world. How can we transcend? It is not allowing. So the jnana will allow us, our mind, to transcend the duality, preference and prejudice.
Hello Swamiji, this is Deepa. So I have a question where whenever I take
your name I have forgotten.
I'm Deepa.
Deepa.
Yeah. So
where is our Deepa? She has not come. Hiding. Tell.
Yeah. So whenever I take up something which is uncertain or new or challenging, I have a dilemma thinking about, should I just keep going with it, or do I have the capability to do it, or should I just give up whatever I'm doing? And I feel like, is it a normal thing to just have that thought? And even if I keep going, it doesn't go away. It's always like, there's a constant dilemma to whether I can do it or not. I've seen so many people who have, with even lesser capability or totally new to the thing, having so much courage in doing stuff, and then, oh, it's a great day, it's a challenge is good, and all those kind of mindset. Is it a developed one, or how do I really get a mindset of...
Can you give any example where you are feeling like that?
It could be any...
Are you working?
Yeah. So
is it related to your profession or home?
Profession, parenting, even living in a different country, anything. There's always a dilemma.
So you were given to fear or cowardice?
I don't know it's a cowardice, but I think there's a choosing between two options.
No, what are the two options I want to know? In at least one example you give.
I don't know. I can't give a specific thing, but yeah, anything new or uncertain or challenging, which I haven't done before, I keep going. I start a task, and
unless you give an example, the answer will not mean.
Okay.
No, if it is something to be done, and if you cannot do also, what is the harm? If you take it up, if it is something good to be done, suppose, you may not become successful in that. What is so great about it? Everything you will not be successful. So what is the fear you are having there? That has to be known. You are fearful about your non-success, your being unsuccessful. If you become unsuccessful, what will happen? Some people will say something. You should be ready to take it. Why should you fear? Somebody will say that Deepa is useless, cannot do anything, she only takes and fails हाँ ठीक है, उसमें क्या है इतना. So you have to open your mind to accept failures. That is very important in our character. In childhood itself we should do. Suppose two teams are playing, or two persons are playing chess. One will win, one will lose. So if you are not preparing your mind to accept losing, is it right?
Yeah, true, very true.
Namaste, Swamiji. Dilip. Yeah, I think you explained very good regarding the yajna, dana, tapas part, which is basically what I consider that it could be the karma yoga, where basically you do the yajna without selfishness. Yajna, dana.
Yajna means I am not saying ritualistic yajna.
Yeah.
Doing anything without any desire, motivation, selfish interest.
Yeah, without expecting anything in return. Yeah.
So when it is offered to the universal yajna of the Lord, then it becomes relieving. Pavanani manushana.
Yeah, okay. So, so again, this is basically purification of the mind. That's what exactly what
Suppose
happens
that story,
yeah.
the one person had gone, one school building was being made, one mason was working. So he asked the mason, what are you doing? He said, don't you see I am putting bricks? With cement mortar I am putting bricks. He left and went to another mason working there and asked him, what are you doing? Same work they both are doing. That mason said that, this village, a few villages here, this area did not have any school for the children to study and grow. So they have decided to put up a school, and this is the building for the school which we are now helping to make. Here the children will study and they will all become educated and the whole society will grow. It's the same work both are doing. So one is thinking that by laying bricks I will get some money and I will look after my family or something like that. Another is thinking that, well, that is part of the job. He is working for money also. But he has that dimension to think that I am doing something for the society, for the growth of the society also. Is it not the whole entirely different? In the mind only.
Yes, Swamiji, yeah.
It becomes yajna. Like that it becomes yajna.
Yeah, got it. So for us to live this life purposefully, then we should be having that yajna bhava in everything.
Definitely, the whole karma yoga is that. See, in Bhagavad Gita, karma yoga is not doing karma. It is to have the yoga attitude of the mind. With the yoga attitude, if you do karma, it is karma yoga. If you don't do any karma also, it is karma yoga. If you sit tight with the yoga attitude, then also it is karma yoga. Yeah. So the main thing is the yoga attitude. Now Bhagavad Gita has clearly given us various options that you can switch off that, sound is. That is what will make things a karma yoga. Karma yoga is the fundamental thing, which word has not been used so much in two places perhaps. Bhagavad Gita calls it buddhi yoga. It's not karma yoga really. The real term used is buddhi yoga. Why? Because how will the karma become yoga? How the selfish attitude of the mind will change into a yoga attitude? It depends on the intelligence. In the buddhi, we have to bring in that universal dimension to change the mental attitude from a small, constricted, selfish attitude to an universal dimension. For that, they have given 5 or 6 options. One is this yajna. That you think of yajna means doing as a part in the universal yajna of the Lord. Other is samatva. That means you think that everything is an expression of the same Atma everywhere, and you do whatever comes to be done, not because of any selfish interest. Another they have given is Trigunatita. that I think is our topic in the day after tomorrow's day. That is, we are always bound by the work of the three gunas. We can transcend the gunas, then any work will become yajna, or say it will become karma yoga. Then another, they have said, the last 18th chapter, they have said surrender or sharanagati. There it is very clearly stated, and it is the last and the most powerful and the ultimate sadhana. That with the attitude of surrender, if you do, it will become karma yoga. Then shraddha also is there, how to have that supreme shraddha to the supreme in our work. Like that, Bhagavad Gita has given 5-6 methods. Whichever strikes you, you can take it up.
Yes, Swamiji. Okay, thank you.
Basically, it is to change the dimension of our mind from the constricted, selfish, gain-oriented dimension, desire-motivated, gain-oriented dimension, to an universal dimension. You have to change your habits and practices. To get rid of the bondages created by tamaguna, you have to cultivate rajoguna and sattvaguna. To get rid of the bondages created by rajoguna, you have to cultivate sattvaguna. To get rid of the bondage created by sattvaguna, you have to take to something that will be discussed there. So the question is that it needs change of whatever inputs we are having from the world. Because our being completely depends on what inputs we are giving. It is not only ahara, doesn't mean only with the food. What we are seeing with the eyes, hearing with the ears, and more important for the internal part of our being is to what we are thinking throughout the day. Whatever we are reading, we are seeing in the internet, according to that the mind is thinking. So if we change our habits, make it sattva guna oriented, then automatically we will be freed of the bondages created by them. So it's a very practical of all the methods that we can readily follow in all our actions, all our living attitudes, etc.